What's up, y'all? It's your girl, NathHughes here. How are you doing? I do have a swivel chair. Anyway, in today's video, we are talking all about your soul's growth. That's it. That's the message. We're talking about your soul's growth. 3 piles. We got the Queen of Swords for the first one. We have the Four of Cups, it came out in the last reading as well. And then we have the Four of Swords for pile number 3. The Four of Cups is pile number 2. Make your selections. Timestamps are in the description box, and I'll see you there. Pile number 1, for those of you who chose the Queen of Swords, let's get into your soul's current growth. We're going to be using the astrology dice in this one, and I'm going to pause. Okay, now that we got the die, let's roll it, see what we're working with. We have Saturn and Aquarius. Oh my God. Okay, do you ever not really realize how much of a nerd you are until you get really, really excited about saying Saturn and Aquarius? I am very excited for this. Okay, so we have Saturn and Aquarius in the 3rd house, which is beautiful. And then we have the fucking Queen of Swords. So I know what your soul's growth is, girl. Okay, so your soul's growth is speaking your mind and speaking your truth, okay? With the Saturn and Aquarius in the 3rd house energy, there is a fear of being ostracized. There is this energy of you are holding yourself back because you are afraid that somebody else is going to see you and not like what you have to say. And then when they see you and don't like what you have to say, then all of their other friends are going to come and not like what you have to say, and then they're going to beat you up. Basically, you have a fear of being ostracized. You have a fear of being neglected. And so what we want you to do is, this is your opportunity for healing. We want you to do that inner child healing work. Can you acknowledge that you so desperately want to be accepted and loved? Can you acknowledge that you desperately want to feel loved? Can you be willing to accept the fact that you desperately want to feel like you are a part of a group? They're saying like you are a part of a pack. Can you acknowledge that you want a feeling of friendship? Who doesn't love friends? Who doesn't love friends? And this is very much friends on a local scale. You want the, what are you doing right now? And then it's the, somebody texts you, what are you doing? And then you text them back, nothing. What are we getting into? You want the, hey, do you want to, I haven't used this phrase in so long. Do you want to bust a mission? Life with me is an adventure. Would you like to go to the grocery store with me? It's 12 in the morning and I would like some wine or something. I don't know if they sell wine at 12 a.m. It doesn't matter. It's the type of energy of, I want, I just felt my energy bounce off at me when I said that through the screen. I'm like, yes, I agree. It's the energy of, I want friends. I want companionship. I want this feeling of a genuine fondness between people. And what you want in this way is to also be able to speak your mind. So right now, you are valuing the desire to be connected to people over the desire to be yourself, because you don't believe that you can be yourself and be connected and be loved and be accepted at the same time. And so that's your personal growth right now. And this is very much coming from childhood, Queen of Swords, we would say the mother wound. This is definitely because Saturn is going to constrict, and Saturn constricts us. And Saturn is very much a step 5 opportunity. If you don't understand what I'm talking about in terms of manifestation, I'm going to explain it a little bit. But if you want it more in depth, then recordings of my Asking to Feel Better workshop might be available by now. I don't know when I'm going to have the recordings available for purchase, but check the description and I'll post updates by the time that I share this video. and that would give you more information and insights. But with your Saturn, Saturn is going to constrict in a step 5 moment. And what that means is that when you experience that moment of contrast, when you're experiencing something that you don't like, that's your opportunity to then step back into step 1 and within that cycle and ask for something that you would rather experience. So with the Saturn in the 3rd house, what y'all have done is experience people who try to limit your voice, experience people who, for some of you, you grew up in the household with the stay in a kid's place. You're not allowed to speak on certain things. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You might have been told by your parents, like, your opinion doesn't matter. What you want doesn't matter. What you think doesn't matter. It could have been how you felt like you were being handled by society. There was a limit to the things that you could say and the way that you could express yourself. And if you dare to express yourself and to go against this authority figure, because that's what Saturn is, if you dare to go against this authority figure with the energy of Aquarius here, there would be some huge reckoning. There would be some very bad thing that would happen to you. And so what we want you to acknowledge right now is that you're afraid. You don't feel safe to be yourself. You don't feel safe to be who you truly are because you are afraid that the authority figure, and right now, because of this inner child, because of the trauma that you've experienced, that authority figure is anybody outside of you. Because this inner child is so desperate for love and connection, it's the Abraham Esther Hicks looking for love in all of the wrong places. I want love and acceptance from anyone who I can possibly get it from. And so because you are so thirsty for that, and I don't like the negative connotation surrounding thirsty, but we're saying desperate. This is not about shame and it's not about guilt. It's about where you are on your journey and being able to acknowledge that you are ready for change. You want to do the work to heal and integrate this inner child specifically. For some of you, it's several. Of course, it's going to depend on you and the different things that you've experienced. But basically, the authority figure is now these large groups of people. And this is very much that feeling of cancel culture on the internet, right? Everybody is ganging up because every single person who partakes in cancel culture of any kind, it's all that same vibration, whether they're the person being canceled or the person canceling others. You notice how it kind of goes back and forth and all of that because it's the same vibration. And so what we have is large groups of people who nobody feels loved, nobody feels accepted, but they're telling themselves the story. Somebody has to be the outcast. They're saying Tupac, like, being a fucking outcast ain't fair, but somebody got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to be the person who isn't accepted in this. And I don't want it to be me. And so in the friendship group, we all have come together. One of us has to be the outcast. I don't want it to be me. It has to be somebody, but it can't be me. So it's going to be you. You are the unlucky person who has done the thing. And we are putting all of our shame and guilt that we have internally onto you. And we're not actually transferring it. Everybody holds that same shame, fear, and guilt, whatever. So what this means is that you're in this constant state of fear. You're in a constant state of fear. What if I say the wrong thing today? What if I say the wrong thing to this person? What if I say the wrong thing in the post? What if I have the wrong opinion? What if I dress the wrong way? What if I do the wrong thing? And that is going to make me the outcast. And your greatest fear is being the outcast. Your greatest fear is being the outcast because you already feel like an outcast. Everybody already feels like an outcast. Anybody who is canceling another person already feels like an outcast. They already don't feel accepted. And so your personal growth right now is to do the work to accept yourself, to sit with yourself, sit with those inner children, calling them forward, doing that healing work, doing that deep healing work, and being able to accept yourself. You're just on the journey of self-acceptance. That's it. Pile number 1, your personal growth is you are now on the journey of self-acceptance. You are now on the journey of self-liberation, and that's what that looks like. Liberation comes through acceptance and comes through compassion and understanding, because the way that we treat each other is always a reflection of the way that we treat ourselves. And so everybody who is so quick to, I'm canceling this other person, this person is a bad person, this person is terrible, this person doesn't deserve to be a member of society, that is a reflection of how they treat themselves. And it's almost this energy of, my biggest fear is somebody else seeing me the way that I see myself, as unworthy, as wrong, as bad, and all of that. And neither of that is true. None of that is who you truly are. You're not a bad, terrible person. And so those are the opportunities for growth for you. We would like to go deeper, but it's very different for each and every one of you. So of course, if you want help with that, then you can come and work with me right now. I have a program. It's 5 months and it is fucking, it's the shit. It is very amazing. It's very amazing. It is incredibly hands-on. We're meeting like once a week for 5 months for a total complete transformation. Like, you're not going to know who you are at the end of it. So information on that, information on how to apply is in the description box. What else? Right now I am doing clarity calls with spirit. I'm trying to think. I guess we're done talking. We're done talking. Is that it? Because we kind of naturally moved into the next segment of the video. Hold on. Are there any other messages? No. It's really about you being able to speak your mind and allowing yourself to receive friends who will see you, allowing yourself to receive relationships that are going to see you for who you are and truly love you and truly understand you. And so you're on the journey of self-acceptance, truly seeing, truly loving, and truly accepting yourself. You're not going to break out of this fear of being ostracized and exiled until you stop ostracizing yourself, ostracizing aspects of yourself, condemning aspects of yourself, and trying to corner them and tuck them away. It is very much this kind of 8th house energy. Oh no, we don't talk about that aspect of myself. Oh no, we don't talk about these things. We refuse to deal with this, but that energy has to come out somehow, some way. So if you want to stop attracting in those people who don't accept you for who you truly are, then your focus is self-acceptance. And once you have self-acceptance, you have liberation, because when you accept yourself and when you're receiving your validation from source energy, and that's from people who are under the influence of source. Somebody who's under the influence of source is going to see you and love you unconditionally, because they're going to see the best in you. Insert gospel song here. That's it. Shit. That's it. I lost it. Okay. Clarity call with spirit, 1 hour. Set yourself up for the next couple of weeks and months of growth. That's not going to be linked on my website. So if you want that, you're going to have to DM me on Instagram or shoot me an email. Both of those will be in the description box. And other ways of how you can work with me, get content from me, all in the description box as well. Thank you so much for watching pile number 1. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. For those of you who chose the 4 of Cups, let's get into it with your reading. We got your astrology dice. We have Mercury and Virgo. Were you pile number 2 in the last reading that we did? Because the last one was the last pile number 2 was like the Sun in Virgo, I think. And then in the 3rd house. So we've got Mercury and Virgo in the 3rd house and the 4 of Cups. Damn, if I'll stop dropping this. Okay. What I just did right there, that if I don't stop dropping this, my inner being's like, then what? Then what? If you don't stop dropping it, then what? Every time you drop it, you're going to pick it up. And every single time you drop it, you're going to be nice to yourself. And every single time you drop it, you're going to have compassion with yourself. And every single time you drop it, you're going to go, oh my goodness, that's okay. That's okay. No big deal. Accidents happen. Mistakes happen. You, pile number 2, this is your personal growth. Your personal growth is, can you go from the person who is, oh my God, stop dropping this fucking card. You always drop everything. You're so fucking clumsy. I cannot believe this. Stop dropping things. Get it together. Can you go from being that person to, oh my goodness, that's okay. That's okay. You dropped the card. Mistakes happen. No big deal. You just pick it up. You just pick it up. That's okay. Feeling a little frustrated because you keep dropping the dice? Yeah. Do you need to take a break? Do you need to take a pause in the middle of the video? Do we need a breather? Are you okay? That's okay. I'm not upset. They're not upset. The people watching this aren't upset that you dropped the card. They're okay. Having that relationship with yourself where you can sit with yourself and show yourself love and compassion instead of cruelty. This is the mother wound. That sounded like the introduction of a show, didn't it? Netflix called me. I'm doing voice acting. Seriously though, this is definitely that energy of you're telling yourself the story that you don't get love, and you're telling yourself the story that you don't deserve love, and you are utilizing the mistakes that you have done as an excuse to not allow yourself to receive love. Do you like the way that we worded that? We do. With the Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Pile number 2. Hold on. Excuse me. Are you willing to forgive yourself for everything that you did while you were wounded? We want to talk a little bit about trauma. And we specifically want to talk about the fact that when you are under an intense amount of stress, and with this Virgo energy, you're under an intense amount of stress, dealing with severe scrutiny, basically. When you are under stress and when you're in those situations where you don't feel safe for prolonged periods of time, the neurons between a specific part of your brain that Nathallie can't remember and the prefrontal cortex in your brain, those neurons basically get fucked because, again, she forgot the medical terminology. But basically what this means is that prolonged periods of stress quite literally affect the way that you show up. And we don't even want to say just prolonged periods of stress, just kind of severe stress in general, but we are talking about prolonged periods of stress do affect the way that you show up in the world, and they do affect your behavior. And so for those of you who grew up in household and you experienced that trauma, when we're talking about the mother wound, we're talking about generational trauma. We want you to understand that some of you have been experiencing this feeling of unsafety since you were in the wound. If your mother did not feel safe, if your parent did not feel safe while they were carrying you in the womb, that was the environment that you were being created in. Right? And that was the environment that you were birthed into. And so you have gone so long being afraid. You have gone so long feeling unsafe that to you it's normal, and it's not. And we want you to just recognize that a lot of the behaviors that you have exhibited, a lot of the things that you have done when you were feeling scared, you have done when you were feeling stressed, you have done as a result of the trauma that you have experienced, emotions and things that have not been processed within you. We want to talk about lying. We want to talk about manipulation. These are self-protecting mechanisms because you don't feel safe. And so can you be willing to sit with yourself in compassion? Can you be willing to sit with yourself in compassion? Spirit, please. They said, example, Nathallie has... Nathallie has been known to pop off. Of all of the words, universe. Okay. I am embarrassed, but I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed because I've forgiven myself and I move forward. So seriously, I have gone the fuck off. We're not channeling right now. Pause that. I have gone the fuck off and acted a goddamn fool because I am not the one. But coming from that energy, being in that energy of having to intimidate others, I was coming from a disempowered place. And I felt powerless and I felt scared. And being able to admit that is a huge step. Being able to forgive yourself for everything that you did when you were in that energy is the biggest step, and it's your personal growth right now, pile number 2. I forgive you for everything that you did when you didn't know any better. And we are saying no any better. And we mentioned the brain, and we mentioned the neurons, and we mentioned the relationship between your mental, emotional, and physical health, because it is important. And because it's something that we do not generally take into consideration when we're collectively speaking about the actions that people take. So when we say you don't know any better, we don't mean right is right and wrong is wrong, and cussing people out and yelling at people is wrong. So you should never do that. Because your prefrontal cortex, which is an area of your brain that is responsible for your social behaviors, we'll say, it's the neurons between your prefrontal cortex and the other area of your brain. They told me to look it up earlier, you guys, and I didn't. And that's why we're here right now. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Because if you don't believe me, you can Google it your fucking self. Boom. When the neurons in your brain are literally, when your brain is not functioning at its highest capacity, you're not you when you're hungry. You're not you when you're stressed. And a Twix isn't going to fix it, babe. Healing is. Okay? Okay. Because of the things that you've done, and for some of you, this is just thoughts that you've thought in your mind. Your mind gets to be your safe space. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter how terrible it is. It doesn't matter how terrible it is. You're still loved. You're still worthy of love. You're still worthy of love. Yeah, even that thing. Yeah, even the worst, most terrible thing that you said. I think about things that I said even even around this time last year, and we're still shifting the energy. That's why I'm laughing about it. I think about things that I've said in the past, and sometimes my first action, right, that learned, programmed, is, oh my God, how could you have said that? How could you have done that? And then it's, oh, no. I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset with you. I'm not upset with what you did when you thought that that was the best option. It's understanding that everybody is always doing what they think is the best. Even when it's the worst shit ever, they truly believe that that is the best thing to do at that moment in time. And for some of you, you are, but I hurt other people. Law of attraction, your inner beings, all rendezvous together. Step 5, contrast moment. We are going to connect with each other. You're going to teach me this lesson. I'm going to teach you this lesson. We agree that we're going to experience this. Okay. Everyone who you interact with is a vibrational match for you at one point in time. And so you are never the villain. It quite literally takes two to tango. They said it takes two to vibrate. Yes. Oh my God. Okay, we're not going to do a joke about sex toys right now. Okay, seriously speaking, every single person that you experience and connect with, what is that Nicki Minaj lyric? Even the ones that hurt me, I still show forgiveness. I think it's called Pills and Potions. I don't exactly remember, but the point is this. I am so fucking grateful to everyone who ever betrayed me. I am so fucking grateful to everyone who ever treated me bad. Because if it had not been for those situations, if it had not been for those experiences, then I wouldn't have had the opportunity to ask to experience something better. All of those situations gave me clarity. Every single thing that has ever happened in your life is an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for clarity. It's an opportunity for expansion. That's what you've come here to do. You came here to experience the uncomfortable things. You came here to cuss people out sometimes and then get on your healing journey and then realize that you don't even need to do that you can instead choose to attract people who aren't even going to bring up those emotions within you to where you want to cuss some people out. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of different ways that we could have worded that and a lot of different healing that goes into it, but you understand the general energy. Are you willing to forgive yourself? And are you willing to stop being so hypercritical of yourself? Are you willing to start viewing yourself in a whole new way? Oh my goodness. I experienced so much trauma as a kid. You definitely are dealing with the mother wound. Can you understand? Can you just allow yourself to see, whoa, my brain and my body has gone through so much and is still going through so much. Right here, right now, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe in my own mind. And if you can't go to Bella Noche's, where the hell could you go? Meaning, if you can't be in your own mind, where the fuck can you feel safe? Where the fuck can you feel good? I deserve to feel good in my mind. I deserve to be free of the judgments of society within my own mind, because understand, nobody is going to be judging you who isn't judging themselves. We treat people the way that we treat ourselves. Don't focus on them. If they're judging you, it's because they're judging themselves. That's their personal growth. That's all about them. So now that we know that, can I allow myself to stop judging myself so harshly? That's your personal growth right now. You are deserving and worthy of love. You are deserving and worthy of feeling good. There's nothing that you've ever done, thought, said, been, blah, 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 that could ever make you unworthy and deserving. Moments of contrast. Opportunities for growth. Opportunities for healing. Shit happens. Trauma happens. What are we doing now? It's not about, we did the horrible thing, we said the horrible thing, we experienced the horrible thing. It's, ooh, I didn't like that experience. I don't like how that felt. I don't like being mean to people. I don't like yelling at people. I don't like cussing at people. When I felt disempowered, jumping up to anger and revenge felt good because it felt better than being powerless. But as I tap further and further into my emotions and I allow myself to feel better and better and better now, going from happiness, going from joy, even going from contentment down to anger, baby, that felt like shit. That feels like shit. So I just now know that I don't enjoy cussing people out. That doesn't feel good to me. But without these processes, without these steps, without these experiences, I wouldn't have known any of that. I now have a greater understanding of how humans work. I have a greater understanding of how I work. I have a greater understanding of how manifestation works. I have a greater understanding of the world. And that's what I've incarnated to experience. That's what I've incarnated to get. So there's no need to be mean to myself. For some of you, this is about your body. This is about your relationship with food. I don't deserve love because I'm fat. Wrong, incorrect. You're loved, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're gorgeous. A lot of you, your relationships with food and all of that is, again, going back to not feeling safe, going back to generational trauma. Generational trauma. Very, very real. Your focus is on healing. Your focus is on, oh no, that didn't feel good. We didn't like that. We didn't like that experience. I now know that I never want to experience that again. What do I have to do so that I never feel like I need to do that again? I want to feel empowered. And I know that, no, I want to feel empowered so that I never have to fight with another human being again. I don't like that. I don't like arguing with people. I have an Aries stellium, and it turns out I don't like arguing with people. I like connecting with people. Libra on the descendant of Aries, on the subconscious. I like connecting with people. I like human connection. I like getting along with people. I like feeling accepted, right? Oh my God, we got Mercury and Virgo in the third house. This is very much the mind. This is very much your environment growing up. What do you want instead? And you want to speak on it. We got the Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck. You want to speak on it. A lot of your, the ways that you judge yourself, especially surrounding like school and education. And oh my God, I did a horrible thing once. You are not your actions. You're not. You're not. You're not. You're not your actions. You're an extension of the divine, period. Okay. And if you want some help with this, you want some help healing, shifting your energy, there are several different ways you could work with me. The one that's not listed on my website is Clarity Calls with Spirit. It's a $600 offering. It's 1 hour. And in that hour, you will get the shifts for growth that you need and the shifts for growth that you need and the, why are we saying ingredients? Damn it. And all of that good shit that you need to continue your healing journey for the next weeks. And honestly, months. They're saying like next 2 to 3 months. So it's incredibly amazing offering, investment. Mwah. I have a 5-month program. You should be able to get a recording of the Asking to Feel Better workshop. I'm not sure if that will be ready yet, so you'll have to check the description box. Anything else, check my website, message me, DM me, send me an email if you want to work with me. If you want help and support getting to your next level, just reach out. We can chit chat. Okay, that's it. Bye. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Okay. Pile number 3. What the fuck is up? Okay, if you chose the 4 of Swords or pile number 3, this is your pile. Let's get into it. Astro dice, shaken. We rolled it. And this is Mars. I was like, is this Mars or Venus? It's Mars. Okay, it is Mars in Gemini in the 3rd house. Okay. Mars in Gemini in the 3rd house and the 4 of Swords. We want to pull some clarifying cards for y'all. Mars and Gemini in the 3rd house. We want to talk about the difference between rest, rejuvenation, and action. Because the 4 of Swords is all about relaxation. It's about rest and recuperation. And Mars is about action. It's about drive. It's about reaching our goals. With the energy of Gemini here and the 3rd house, Mars in a mutable sign. Gemini is a mutable sign. 3rd house is Gemini associated house. We have a lot of this mutable sign energy with the energy of the Swords here. Got it. Got it. Pile number 3. Your personal growth is about your mind and about your impressionable mind. So one of the things that I've been chatting and having conversations with Spirit about is the fact that society kind of collectively projects this vulnerability and being impressionable onto young women. And it's very, very interesting because we will talk all of this about young women, and there are these grown-ass men who are predators and blah, 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 blah. And young women are so impressionable. Young women are so dumb. Young women are so easily manipulated. And it's just not true. Because the answer is everybody is. And we're talking about women of all ages allowing themselves to be manipulated, right? People of all ages allowing themselves to be impressionable. And our message and our main point is that it's not youth that makes you impressionable. It is the trauma that you have experienced that makes you impressionable. It is the inner children living within you who are desperate for love, desperate to be accepted, that make you impressionable. And the fact that over, I think it's like 89.3% of our population is being exposed to trauma or is experiencing trauma on some scale. Trauma is so common. Healing is not. And so if all of these people are walking around with these inner children, all of these people are walking around with something brain function. We're having trouble placing the word. Impaired brain function, perhaps that works. There is this energy of being incredibly impressionable in your mind. Pile number 3, your healing and your personal growth is about realizing and coming back to who you are and what your desires are, because Mars is your drive. Mars is what do I want? Mars in Aries is the most powerful because Mars is a ruler of Aries. But Aries is me, right? And Mars also rules Scorpio, and that's not what we're talking about right now. In terms of your manifestations, in terms of being who you truly are, Mars and Aries energy is going to be the most powerful. Because Aries understands I. Aries understands this is what I want. Aries understands this is what I desire. Aries understands I'm going to go out and get it because I want it. They're saying Ariana Grande, I want it, I got it. I want it, I got it. Or Princess Nokia, depending on who you think's. Okay, anyway. With this Mars energy, when you have Mars and Aries being drive, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get it. When Mars and Aries, or when Aries, any Aries placements, decides that they're going to do something, one thing about an Aries, they're going to do what the fuck they said they were going to do. One thing about an Aries, they're going to do what the fuck they said they were going to do. This is very much cardinal energy. But then when we bring into account Gemini, when we introduce Gemini into the energy of Mars, suddenly our drive and our action is more focused on our intellect, on our mind, on the things that we think, on our perception. Mars in the mutable sign of Gemini. Gemini wants both sides. Gemini is, well, I can make this choice and decision, but if I did that, there's also this to think about. And if we think about that, then we got to think about this. And then we got to think about this. And then we got to think about this. And then mutable sign energy is impressionable, because mutable sign energy is going to adapt to its environment. Mutable sign energy is going to adapt to its environment. The energy of the third house is your local environment. The energy of Gemini is this third house energy, Mercury energy. This is your thoughts, your perception, the things that you think, the things that you say, the things that you believe, things that you manifest. This is all going to be determined by the environment that you grow up in. That's mutable sign energy. So when we introduce Mars into it, that means the things that you go after, the way that you operate in your life, your drive, your ambition is tied and connected to the environment that you're in. You are highly impressionable. And this is because of your trauma. This is because of healing work that it's time for you to do. What else do we want to talk about with this Four of Swords? There's an energy of, some of you are raised in an environment where you were told that you can't rest. You could have ancestors who were enslaved peoples, ancestors who had to work really, really hard, received very little in exchange, or just ancestors who had to work really, really hard in general. There is a belief that resting is equal to giving up. Resting is equal to being lazy. Your personal growth right now is learning to allow yourself to rest. Tapping into who you truly are is about tapping into your own preferences. Okay, pile number 3, you allow yourself to be torn or at odds. You allow your energy to be split between what you want to do and what somebody else thinks you should do. What you want to do, and oh, but if I do this, then somebody's going to think this. And oh, but if I do that, then oh, but that could be a potential consequence. Are you willing to allow yourself to go after what it is that you want to experience? And are you willing to, and it's that going after what it is that you want to experience is allowing what you want to experience into your life. It's the same thing. But you're holding yourself back. Some of you are holding yourself back because I'm looking at the picture, and it seems as though some of the string, the thread that has been used to repair the heart is like being kind of fastened around this person, kind of like a protective kind of home, right? In this nest. Right now, your personal growth is, it is okay for you to have your own thoughts. It is okay for you to have your own belief system. That's what it is. Because there's a bit of this, everybody has a different way for you to heal, right? Everybody has the best way for you to heal, right? Everybody has their own thing, and everybody thinks that their thing is the best thing, which it should be. They should think that, right? I think that my healing is the best healing that you're ever going to receive in your life, because my healing is a shit, right? It's the healing that I have been guided to create. It's the healing that I have been called to show up in and do in this journey, because souls are wanting to experience healing and elevation in a specific way that only I'm going to be able to provide, because of my perception, because of my growth, and because of my experiences. So my healing is the best healing for the people who were supposed to come and heal with me. Somebody else's healing is the best healing for the people who were supposed to come and experience healing with them. The problem is when you don't know what your preferences are, when you don't know who you are, when you don't know what feels good for you, or when you don't allow yourself to follow what feels good for you, some of you are going to be on either of those. But ultimately, it's the same thing, not allowing yourself to receive what you desire, not being tapped into who you truly are. It's difficult for you to discern what the best option for you is, because your focus has been on what other people have to say. Your focus has been, your value has been on other people's opinion and what other people have to say, instead of what you know to be true. This is what I do, Western tropical astrology. Somebody comes up to me and says, Western astrology is complete bullshit. You should be doing this instead. And in this, you're this, and you're supposed to be doing this. The energy that you're in, pile number 3, the person who doesn't have the ability to stand their own ground, basically, who doesn't know their yes from their no, is going to, oh my God, I was doing the wrong thing. Western astrology isn't good. Oh my God. Okay, so what is this? And what should I be doing? And how can I improve? It's that type of energy. Very quick to shift who you are completely, to shift your desires, to shift your drive into what somebody else wants you to be, so that you can be loved, so that you can be accepted, so that you can get what you think that you want, right? And ultimately what you want is to be loved, seen, and accepted. So you're on the journey to figuring out who you truly are, tapping into your preferences, what's a yes from you and what's a no from you. Because if you don't know that, then everything is a yes from you, right? There's a lot of solar plexus for you, pile number 3. It's a lot of solar plexus. Like, my tummy just feels sore. There's a little bit of a fatigue going on here. So you could be trying so hard to be loved and accepted by others that you are running around doing a million different things, trying to make a million different people happy. But your focus needs to be on you. Your focus needs to be on what's going to make you happy. Your focus needs to be on what's going to make you joy, what's going to bring you joy. And your focus needs to be on what's going to make you feel safe. That's your biggest thing right now, is you need to feel safe. You need to feel loved, seen, accepted, and protected. With the 9 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, there's a lot of grief here. There's a lot of worry here. There's a lot of anxiety here in your mind. One of the reasons why you're going through it so much mentally is because you have other people's energy that you have allowed into your field. So you're not the only person who is in your mind. That's why you don't have that clarity. And so pile number 3, what we're telling you is that it's time for you to develop a bit of a safe space energetically. This is closing yourself off to others. This is establishing healthy boundaries, learning to differentiate me versus we. All of this is falling under the category of establishing a greater sense of self. I have an Instagram post on my Instagram about this. I have several actually, so go check out my Instagram for those amazing posts and shifts for you. If you want more help with this, I have a clarity call with Spirit, $600 for the hour. It'll set you up personal growth shifts during the call, and then for the next couple of weeks and months along your self-healing journey. I also have a program right now. It's 5 months, and it is Chef's Kiss. My Asking to Feel Better workshop copy should be available. Check the description for whether or not it is available at the time that I post this video. What else? Oh, if you want the clarity call with spirit, you gotta DM me or email me because I don't have it up on my website. Other than that, for all of my other sources, all of my other opportunities to work with me, you can check out my website or DM me and we can talk personally about how I can best help you. With all of that being said, I'm going to click off of here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you so much love on your journey, and it is so... it can be really difficult just trying to navigate and figure out who you are. But the biggest thing is about, I literally, when I was going through this personal growth, I was shutting everything down, shutting everyone down. If I don't agree with what you're posting, I'm unfollowing. This is about really kind of following one person. I have one healer. My healer is Kelly Lund. One. Not going to multiple different sources because they're all going to say different things. They're all going to contradict each other. I found one and my soul led me to her. And so your ask to your inner being is, inner being, I want a healer that's going to resonate with me, someone who is going to help me get into this next level, help me to feel better. And then allow yourself to be guided to that. And then you just trust yourself and then you work with that person alone instead of like asking the advice of a million different people, because you have a whole bunch of people's energy in your field and it's just nonstop conflict. Okay. So with that part done, thank you for watching. Love y'all. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.